Here we go, everybody. It's game number 1 on the Rift here between Voyboy and Nightblue's teams at the OMEN Encounter Finals. Voyboy's team's going to start off over here on the blue side. Nightblue's team going to start off over on the red/purple side. See if any level 1 shenanigans kind of go down. Yesterday, Nightblue's team had to deal with a lot of trick in his early invades. They set up at this line of scrimmage across the river quite often, but looks like Voyboy going to take more of an aggressive stance.
Yeah, and this defensive kind of 5-point start is not surprising at all. You see immediately backing out, and as she does, dropping that ward. Zingy, good on him to know that start. That's a very competitive start to do so. You see everyone leaving the jungle. They're getting just enough vision to know when the enemy team has left so that they can reapproach their own jungle. And then, of course, Voyboy's squad trying to pick up this bit of early vision to know exactly what's going to happen with the Grom start. They don't want Fabi and Zingy to start there and get themselves an EXP advantage, but similarly, they do want One Braille and I Am Matlife to be able to start on Krugs. Curious to see if they use that. Obviously, in this patch, you can get a huge EXP buff from starting that way. And get a faster level 2. Doing so puts you at risk of that late invade from this game. If you're caught trying to fight the Krugs, you will take a ton of damage and be denied any.
Well, after taking a core to blue buff, and on the opposite side of the map, we've seen Nightblue across the map. So it's like Golden Glue just information as possible. Looks like Fabi and Zingy were maybe looking to start at that Gromp, but not so appetizing after all. They are going to wind up just going to lane, while Nightblue looking like they're going for an early invade on the opposite side of the map. He's going to wind up going and taking that Gromp away, but Voyboy on Jax, he's not that far away. He's actually started at the Wolf Camp right here. They got to be really, really careful. There's no wards down from either side. Nightblue is going for the blue buff as well and has hit level 2. Voyboy's going to be extremely low, probably actually going to wind up recalling after this one. They might not wind up running into each other at all.
Voyboy most likely going to go back here, just wants to get the early level 2. This is clever strategy from him overall. Knows that laning against Gnar level 1 with that range advantage means that he won't be able to CS efficiently at all. So instead, opting to give up a little bit of CS and hope that Gnar will push out the lane and just going to immediately TP back into the top lane with that level 2. Not losing too much at all for that. That's one of the big things about these new jungle camps is that because they guarantee you level 2 on any camp, a lot of top laners who have, you know, those unfinishable level 1 matchups can just start at the Wolves in this case and get level 2 and mitigate some of that poor early game.
Well, we did see Nightblue stealing away the blue buff. Immediate pings going down on his own blue buff. Sicko Scott was making his way over towards it. We saw Zingy move out of lane, put a ward down in the area, and actually cut off Sicko Scott. So no blue buff going to be picked up here for Lee Sin. It might be a 3-1 buff start in favor of Nightblue.
Yeah, if Nightblue can get this 3-buff start, it's going to be huge. Lee Sin not too in need of blue buff, but definitely Pantheon is going to be able to clear so much faster with it, and just the experience bonus it's going to net him will make a huge difference as they move forward in the game. Pantheon, obviously, a pretty fierce ganker. If he can get to level 6 sooner, he's going to be able to put so much pressure down anywhere he wants to with that increased map mobility. It's going to play a big factor as we approach mid-game.
Well, actually, bottom lane, we see a tussle going down between Braille and Fabi, both of them dropping down pretty low. Gray is a little bit on the worst receiving end of that one. Does not have the same kind of shielding power that Jana's going to offer to Fabi and his Draven. Of course, the spinning axe is applying a lot of damage, especially on this early laning phase there. Mid lane, we do see a bit of a trade going down as well in favor of Golden Glue. So far, even though there's not all too much going on in the laning phase, just small little advantages going to the side of Nightblue's team.
Well, One Braille as a player is sort of just a solo queue main. He plays a lot of different champions in a lot of different roles. Very comfortable with the game overall as a whole, but he really lacks that specialization. Whereas Fabi, of course, is a dedicated ADC player, and of course on his most comfortable champion. So you expect One Braille to get a little bit behind here, despite the fact that Graves obviously has a pretty powerful early game with that buckshot.
What we are seeing a little bit opposite of what we saw yesterday. Fabi and the Zingy, they're the ones pushing down into the bottom lane, forcing back their opponents against their own tower. Of course, we did see the Thresh being a big factor as to why Fabi and Zingy were having a bit of trouble during their own laning phase yesterday, but Matlife has his hands on that one, not necessarily going his way entirely, but there is a slight CS advantage for the side of Braille and Matlife, being 31 CS currently to Draven's 25. Hook does wind up going, but just a little bit too short right there to reach Draven, so just going to wind up bouncing away from that one. A bit more damage being traded down onto Braille. Flay coming out from Matlife now, getting a little bit aggressive. Fabi going to have to try to back away from this one. No jungler on either side, just actually a lot of pressure coming out from Braille and Matlife from the bottom side here.
Matlife playing very, very aggressive here. Does get the hook off.
Yep, the Flay as well. Fabi did immediately flash, but the Flay still wound up hitting. Ignite is gone down here. Flash forward there from Braille and Matlife, and first blood goes over to Graze. Meanwhile, mid lane, a flash is used by Nightblue, but Moonlight just a little bit too far out of range for the stun on that one. Sicko Scott's going to offer a little bit of relief here as they decide not to go too deep on that one. But first blood went opposite the way we thought it was in bot lane.
Braille not following up on that initial play from I Am Matlife in the situation, but the second I Am Matlife got the hook, you can see it click for him. He went in, blew everything he had to get that kill, but it worked over well, burning through the heal very quickly. Golden Glue now may pick up the solo kill in the mid lane.
Ooh, Golden Glue is going to be able to get down onto Moonway. Moonway staying a little bit too long after that gank there. Sicko Scott trying to make something happen, but Golden Glue's going to turn that one around. Level 6 means he has the Mimic. Sicko Scott, he's got to get out of there with a bleeding red HP bar.
And this is one of the big things we were talking about, is can the solo lanes get ahead? And at this stage of the game, it looks like they're going in the favor of Nightblue. Not only that, the bot lane, which I was pretty sure was going to lose with the Zingy on support, is now, is suffering, but not quite as badly as I had thought. So Voyboy's only winning lane at this stage of the game is going to be that bot lane. A lot of pressure onto Braille and I Am Matlife, but I Am Matlife, of course, much more of a playmaker than a Zingy or Fabi. So kind of even out overall, but Golden Glue and Zen the Solo King having advantage in their lanes is going to be huge as we transition into this mid game.
Well, up in the top lane here, taking a look at Jax and Gnar going head-to-head against each other. Gnar did wind up pushing the lane a bit earlier. Didn't have to use the teleport to get back to lane, but has picked up an additional Doran's Blade, it looks like. Doran's Blade and Doran's Shield. Granted, Jax just having the Doran's Blade right now in top lane. The CS, actually, Voyboy farming very well under tower, pretty close. And now Sicko Scott's going to make an appearance here, forcing the Mega Gnar to go backwards. The transformation goes away, so it's just little Gnar left in place. Both these solo laners level 6, but both the junglers only level 4 at this point in time. A little bit of a experience discrepancy in some places. We see Gnar taking a lot of damage top lane, and Syndra in the mid lane taking a lot of damage too. Lots of skill shots, lots of stuff going off. Moonway missing out on Golden Glue here, and he's down in experience as well. Level 7 now compared to level 5. That Syndra is going to be hurting a lot from that early death.
And Golden Glue, of course, was just such a huge EXP advantage. Level 7 to Syndra's level 5 means that Syndra has no real way to match LeBlanc's burst, especially at this stage in the game. LeBlanc, of course, also has that small advantage from the earlier kill. So Syndra really hurting. You can see both junglers floating around this mid lane, knowing that this is going to be the pivotal point in the game. Sicko Scott coming in here may try to create a little pressure. Definitely wants to secure blue buff for Syndra as quickly as possible, but Nightblue appears to be invaded.
Yeah, Nightblue actually is going to wind up going in towards that blue buff area. They had the timer from the early level 1. Sicko Scott going to get cut out here. 2 chains coming out from Golden Glue, and Nightblue's the one to get in the spear to seal the deal. Bottom lane, we do see a hook going a little bit behind the Zingy over there. Not going to get anything else in the bottom side of the map, but the blue buff area is going to be controlled by Nightblue's team. They're taking the second blue buff of Voyboy's side of the game.
One of the big strengths of this mid/jungle synergy is that, of course, as the champion approaches 10% health, Pantheon's damage just spikes exponentially. Looks like we might see a kill down here in the bot lane, though.
Yeah, Zingy dropping down fairly low. They switch target onto Fabi, dropping down low himself. Braille's still about half HP. Fabi and a Zingy dropping super low. Hook does not wind up landing on Draven underneath the tower, but it doesn't look like Matlife and Braille are going to get this kill up all too easy. Matlife going a bit forward, but he is very low on mana. Braille healing up off of that health potion, has hit level 6, has a collateral damage available. Fabi still only level 5 himself right now, so they might be looking for an opening to go in, but with all the minions pushed to the tower, they decide to back up.
In the top lane, we see the itemization already swapping towards the tanky side for Zen the Solo King, opting to pick up that Giant Spell early. Meanwhile, Voyboy starting on the Trinity Force, has got that Phage, wanting to give himself a little bit more movement speed, perhaps help dodge those Boomerang harass coming out from Gnar. But at this stage, you know that Gnar is just going to be so much more powerful, given how he scales with maximum health, whereas Jax obviously only getting a little bit of mobility and damage from his item buy.
Well, Jax does have the Phage available. We're going to see Voyboy going on to Zen the Solo King. Lots of damage coming out here. Maybe thinking the rage bar is going to fill up a little bit quicker. Zen the Solo King has to back away. A flash from Voyboy and a return flash from Zen the Solo King. Bleeding HP right here. Only 100 left to his name. Jax behind the tower is going to get a loop around here. Is Voyboy going to wind up going for a dive? Mega Gnar comes out. A heal comes out from that transformation. It looks like that's going to be all for top lane.
Good timing from Voyboy on that all-in. Wasn't able to pick up the kill, but excellent decision-making going in before Mega Gnar was available, and then, of course, trying to get that dive. Did end up trading flashes there, but when he has that health advantage, it's going to play pretty well into his favor. You see him waiting patiently in the bushes here. He was hoping to catch out Zen the Solo King as he transformed back into Mini Gnar. Mini Gnar, of course, very vulnerable to those all-ins, but Voyboy does still always have to be careful because that Mega Gnar just does so much burst damage and can provide so much CC that there's really no way for Voyboy to get advantage when the Mega Gnar is active.
Well, we see in the mid lane here just a little bit of juking and jiving from Golden Glue, using the Mimic Distortion to go in and harass Moonway down. Are going to wind up having a stun coming out there. Just a little bit of damage trade going off in that mid lane. Now we're passing about the 10-minute mark. It's still only 2 kills for Nightblue's team for 1 on the side of Voyboy's team. The gold is pretty much all evened up right now, but the map pressure, it seems to have been slightly in favor of Nightblue's team. They've invaded early on, pick up a blue buff. They took the second one and continuing to harass down on this mid lane here. Nightblue with the man drop in the mid lane. Golden Glue's going to pick up a kill right there. That's a second gank kill on the Moonway.
Moonway not even able to get off the ult or ignite in that situation. Excellent timing on the CC. Clearly a little bit of hesitation there, as he did have the opportunity to use both of those spells. Perhaps the cast animations a little too long in that situation, and now they are going to transition this into a dragon. That 6% AD and AP buff is going to be huge here. I Am Matlife may try to contest, but is not going to be able to get anything out of that. And of course, Zen the Solo King more than happy to burn a teleport to make sure that this goes down uncontested.
Yeah, we did actually see Voyboy using his teleport to get back in the top lane after that little tussle earlier on, so he did not have that one available. Zen the Solo King says, hey, you really can't contest that if it's only going to be a 5v3 since Moonway was gone as well. So they wound up securing themselves the first dragon of the game, something that was very prevalent in pretty much all of their games so far in the OMEN Encounter playoffs.
One of the big things about this team as a whole is that Zen the Solo King as a top laner is unique in this tournament, and that he frequently will give up his own advantage in order to get an objective for the team as a whole. So we saw him burning TP there, and a lot of that has been utilized to control these early dragons. Nightblue also focuses on those early dragons a lot more than anyone else in this tournament, so you can see that paying off dividends for them right now.
Then the Solo King getting very, very aggressive. We saw him dealing a lot of damage in a tussle with Voyboy top lane. Scott only level 6 compared to Nightblue on the opposite side at level 7. Tried to provide a little bit of relief, maybe get some pressure down, but Nari is just able to 2v1 out those 2 melee champions up there, just bullying them around, and with the ever-present threat of transformation, they had to back away from that one. Golden Glue did wind up wrapping around the backside, so really good idea for Voyboy and his buddies to get out of that one. Meanwhile, bottom side of the map still continue to be dominated after that first blood kill in the bottom lane here by Braille and Matlife, now pushing Fabi underneath his own tower, continuously harassing down upon him, but this good Jana shields from Azingi preventing a decent chunk of damage from going down. A hook is going to land on Azingi, though the boss goes out and the flay back into it. Collateral damage comes out, and the ignite from Matlife seals the deal, but a flash away and a flash forward from Fabi secures yet another kill. Now it's a Thresh versus Draven, and Matlife is actually kind of tanky here. Misses out on the hook. Fabi, though, he's going to wind up catching the axes, putting more damage down. Nightblue came around the side. Looks like Matlife going to flash over the wall behind the tower, trying to duck and dodge out of this one. The man drop comes, the sandwich is here. Fabi cashes in with some more adoration stacks.
Well, now this bot lane, even though Graves was able to pick up a kill in that situation, or it looks like an assist in that situation, not going to go in his favor at all. This is the power of the Draven pick in general. He can be behind all game, and then with all of those adoration stacks, get a single kill and turn around that gold disadvantage instantly. We're going to be able to see Fabi go back here shortly and pick up that Infinity Edge, and probably maybe another pickaxe even, just because of how much gold he got in that exchange. So much power coming into this Draven pick. This is exactly what they didn't want to happen, and now that bot lane matchup no longer in their favor.
Well, contestant of the blue buff once again. Sicko Scott's actually going to be able to pick up a kill here on Golden Glue. He went in a little bit too deep without some backup from his team there, and he pays the iron price for that one. That, of course, is his life in that circumstance. Moonway is able to get his first blue buff of the game. Sicko Scott still with 0 to his own, unfortunately. So we are going to wind up having Voyboy's team picking up a little bit of return kill after some overextension from Golden Glue.
Unfortunately, this is kind of the Golden Glue style. A lot of times those overextensions do work out for him, but just didn't have quite enough vision control to go in there and contest that. You can see a lot of those wards coming in now, and Golden Glue probably just a missed call overall. Didn't predict most of the enemy team to be there, and of course Zen the Solo King not really in a position to back him up. So much burst damage between all of those champions, and Golden Glue just clearly overestimating his own.
Well, we do actually have in the bottom lane a bit of a return to shop from Fabi as well as Braille. Actually, Sicko Scott dropping down kind of low in his own jungle there, making sure he secures the red buff. But Fabi, after picking up those kills in bottom lane, had a 600 gold advantage over Braille, and that's really just going to be the cost of the fact that Fabi finished his Infinity Edge and got back to lane, and Braille had to farm up and then go back to pick up his Infinity Edge. So right now, the itemization a little bit close. Fabi did wind up selling his own early Doran's Blade, though, to get that quicker Infinity Edge. So CS counts very, very close, but the gold a little bit more in Fabi's pocket. Top lane, we actually see the tower being taken down here by Zen the Solo King as Golden Glue roams up as well. Voyboy has to back away from this one, but he's got some Boy Scouts in the backside. Meganar has transformed right now, but there is a lot of members of both teams up in this top lane. See Golden Glue and Nightblue chilling out, hiding in the river brush over there. Meganar transformation is going to wind up going out in just a little bit. Both teams decide not to make too much of a deal of it up there.
Meanwhile, on the bot lane, we see the 80 carry 1v1 happening right now. Fabi, more than happy to play aggressive in this situation, knows that neither one of these characters has any summoners, and of course, Fabi able to provide so much sustained damage with those spinning axes, doing currently 158 bonus damage on top of the regular auto attack damage. And on, on the off chance he gets a crit, that right there is pretty much going to turn the trade in his favor, guaranteed.
Well, now that things are about to spice themselves up a little bit, because we have Dragon coming up in just a little bit over a minute. We know that Nightblue's team has the timer on that one. Voyboy's team has some kind of semblance of it, because it's when after Moonway went down in that mid lane the second time, so they kind of know when that timer is going to be coming up, but they don't really have a lot of wards around the area. They have a pink ward to the entrance of their own jungle, and one kind of in that banana brush over towards the riverside, whereas Nightblue's team, you have the tri-brush warded, we have the river warded, as well as that banana brush, so they're going to start getting some coverage down over there. Wouldn't be surprised to see them even going to contest the Scuttle Crab in a little bit. Both top laners are going to have their teleport available by the time Dragon spawns, so they can continue tussling and bustling up in this top lane area over here. We'll have to see if both teams wind up making a move for this Dragon. It's going to start in the mid lane, though, as Nightblue wants it going down on the Moonway once again. Deja vu, see, but this is how they started last Dragon.
Well, Golden Glue just able to provide so much pressure in that mid lane means that Moonway as Syndra always going to have to back up when he wants to burn those distortions to get in close, which means Nightblue, of course, has a very easy time predicting where exactly he's going to be positioned, is able to use that Grand Skyfall to land almost perfectly on top of Moonway in that situation. So good communication from those two as a whole, and of course Pantheon especially adept at tower diving and finishing up kills. So good play overall from both of these guys.
Rush going to have the mid lane tower going down for the price of that death as well. So now Nightblue's team, not only are they going to get that tower, but they're able to start up on this Dragon. Chunks of it coming down from Fabi's Draven here. The Infinity Edge, the Zeal, and of course the Spinning Axes. Going to be easy to chunk through that Dragon. The collateral damage from Grace, not able to steal that one. Just a smite from Nightblue. Or actually, not even a smite from Nightblue there. Didn't even have it available. Just a spear from Nightblue, able to secure the kill on that Dragon. And that's 2 Dragons to none right now in favor of Nightblue's team. Golden Glue, Moonway getting into a bit of a trade in the mid lane here, but Golden Glue with that level 2 ultimate, I don't think Moonway can take him right now.
Moonway right now is at a pretty big disadvantage, doesn't have the same amount of magic pen, despite having more AP than Golden Glue, and Golden Glue, of course, level 2 ultimate, as you mentioned, and so much mobility, able to dodge those skill shots. The only thing Moonway is guaranteed to land at this stage in the game is that ultimate, but you need to hit other skills first. LeBlanc may be squishy, but she's not that squishy at this stage in the game, so Moonway's ultimate not going to be enough.
Well, top lane, we did see Voyboy getting something for his team right there. They wind up taking down the top lane tower. So tower's even up in the top lane, but that mid lane tower going down gives Nightblue's team a 2-1 edge in the tower advantage. It's 6 kills to 3 and a slight gold advantage in favor of Nightblue's team. Only about 2,000, maybe even a little less than that there. We are going to see here about the 18.5-minute mark, though. Some pretty big item purchases are going to be coming down for both sides. Top laners, Eternity Force for Jackson, a Randuin's Omen for that tanky Mega Gnar up in top lane. 2 Morello Nomicons in the mid lane, but a needlessly large Rod and Sorcerer's Shoes for Golden Glue means there's a lot more damage coming out from that LeBlanc. And here in the bottom lane, where Matlife is getting blown up, he has to flash away from Fabi with that Infinity Edge completed. Sicko Scott was already here. The transformed Mega Gnar comes in. A good kick away from Sicko Scott, but in comes Nightblue at the same exact time. Matlife's going to get cleaned up on the offside there by Golden Glue rolling down. It's a full force of 5 here for Nightblue and his team. They picked up the support. They pick up a tower. Can they get anything else? Golden Glue goes in. Golden Glue goes back out with that distortion, and it's a 1 and a tower for none.
Nightblue's team doing very well there. Voyboy seemed very lucky that Zen the Solo King did not have enough rage or enough time left in that Mega Gnar form to get off any ultimate. Sicko Scott, of course, not willing to risk it in that case. Did kick him out, so good play from him overall. Not as bad as it could have been, but Golden Glue and the rest of Nightblue's squad moving as 5 across the map has been so powerful all weekend, and then of course in this game giving them such a big advantage. 3K already at 20 minutes. Not as big as some of the advantages we've seen, but definitely a commanding lead and something that they can use to continue to snowball this game forward.
Well, 7 kills to 3. Like you said, the gold count still about 3,000 gold in favor of Nightblue's team. With all those outer towers down, though, that's going to mean it's going to be the ward game to play for Nightblue's side right now. You see Nightblue going back, picking up some wards and a pink ward of his own. Pink ward in Golden Glue's inventory, as well as, well, the Sightstone, of course, picked up there by a Zingy. They can start encroaching upon Voyboy's jungle, especially on the bottom side. We see some wards already down in the enemy jungle over there. We're going to be able to start controlling the map and moving around for those inner towers. But on the top side, they're losing their own jungle here. Voyboy's able to steal that one away with a force of 3, now 4 coming in. Zen the Solo King tries to flash where the ultimate goes out there from Syndra. A flash forward and a leap strike from Voyboy seals the deal as they pick up a kill on a very curious Gnar. Golden Glue getting curious for himself, goes in with the double distortion. Now Nightblue also up there trying to do it Voyboy here. Nightblue is going to be dropped down very, very low. The counter strike goes out, and Voyboy in a duel of the captains picks up a kill for himself right there. That's 2 on a red buff all of a sudden out of nowhere for Voyboy's team.
Good decision making from Voyboy's team as a whole. They saw how much vision was committed into the bottom side of the map, took the gamble to invade the enemy red, and of course, Zen the Soul King caught out a little bit there, and then Nightblue just a little bit too cocky to return to that red buff. Did want to try to secure it, but at the cost of his own life and not even going to get it. So definitely a lackluster situation. Nightblue's team committing a little bit too much to the bottom side of the map in that case as far as vision control. You know, you did mention that they have been buying a lot of consistent wards, trying to create advantage wherever they can, but Zen the Solo King maybe a little bit too occupied with his own itemization, did not get some for himself, and as a result walked in blind to the jungle in that situation.
Not only that, but they lost 2 members, they lost the mid lane tower, now they're giving up even their own blue buff here over to Moonway. So all that the pressure they just got from the outer towers, all that presumed map advantage that they were going to have, they just wind up losing it by not having enough vision on their own side of the map after those engagements down by Dragon. So Voyboy's team was able to claw themselves back into this just a little bit. The gold count was 3,000 gold right before that. Now it's only about 1,000 gold in favor of Nightblue's team. 3 towers now compared to 2. Voyboy's team definitely coming out strong after that one. You have a 2-0-1 Jax from that solo top lane as well, and we can see him trying to get a little bit of damage out on Zen the Solo King, but it's a bit of a trap sprung here. Fabi and Zingy were there just waiting here. Voyboy has no flash available, does get the leap strike over the wall to a ward though. In comes Matlife, the lantern goes out, Zingy coming in, can he get the Howling Gale down? Hook goes out for Matlife, deters from that one, and Voyboy somehow gets out of that one.
Voyboy is going to have to back here, but good escape from him. Good movement from Matlife to put himself in a position like that. I was about to comment on how this Jax pick scales so well and that this could be the turning point for Voyboy's team, but with smart movement like that from Fabi and Zingy, you know, the pick might not be quite as relevant. Voyboy's sort of getting baited in there. Very lucky to escape with his life. Good response on that ward jump, but does have to play a little bit more careful. You know, he is a lot of the team's damage, and when you're playing a carry-style top laner, getting caught out could mean death for your team as a whole.
Well, now that Voyboy is able to go back and buy, he's gotten most of the items towards his Blade of the Rune King. And if anybody's familiar with seeing a Jax in one of their games or seeing it in some of the competitive matches as well, as soon as you hit that 2-item threshold on Jax, you become an absolute beast. Those 2 kills picked up in the jungle and the ability to get away from that gank in top lane have really set up Voyboy now to just all of a sudden be a monster coming out of that top lane. Not really going to wind up saying anything bad about that Gnar pickup in the top lane though. Is 0-1-0 this game, but has gotten that random zone and has gone for Mercury Treads for himself. He's going to be the dedicated tank that we saw Nightblue's team kind of having in these compositions, although they're without their support Vel'Koz as a second AP carry as well, but they still have the damage threats on Pantheon, LeBlanc, and Draven, and the big tanky front lane that is Gnar. All 5 of them have actually grouped up for this Dragon as well. They had the timer on that one. This could be the 3rd movement speed Dragon of the game for Nightblue's team. They are going to wind up getting it. Voyboy was up in top lane. He had the teleport available, but the rest of his team just couldn't even look for a window to contest.
One of the other things to consider, obviously that Dragon is going to play in huge here. Voyboy much more concerned with pushing the tower, knows that he doesn't want the team fight, and at this point, you know, no matter how fed Voyboy gets, never going to have the same team fight impact as Zen the Solo King. You can see Zen the Solo King using his full CC there. It's about 2.5 seconds at this stage in the game. Will be more as he moves forward, and it looks like Voyboy's going to go down to Golden Glue. Good map movement. Will trade a turret there, but saving the top turret and getting a kill, so good play overall. But Gnar, late game, 3 seconds of hard CC, multi-target. Voyboy's never going to be able to compete with that. At this stage, he can probably 1v1 duel anybody on the team, but Nightblue's team not known to look for those 1v1 situations.
And there's not exactly a dedicated split pusher on the side of Nightblue's team either, so that could be something to look for in the late game. But right now, there's a fight going on in bottom lane. Voyboy not alive from this one. Looks like the hook does go down to Nightblue. He's going to wind up going down to Sicko Scott. Sicko Scott gets healed up here by Braille, but he's going to wind up falling right after that one to that Rampage LeBlanc. Matlife getting slowed up here. It's going to be a double kill as the chain connects here from LeBlanc. Syndra gets a kill down onto a Zingy there, and in comes Graves. Flash forward, double kill for himself. He picks up 1 on Draven, 2 on LeBlanc, and that was a 4v4, it was a 4v4 situation. Gnar just wasn't there with the teleport, and Voyboy's team completely turns that around. Bottom lane tower, they get the advantage in the fight. It was a 4 for 2, and they're going to get the second tier bottom tower maybe as well. Yeah, they get it.
I am Matlife tanking so many cooldowns in that situation, as well as Sicko Scott. Fabi, of course, providing consistent damage, but not able to survive the Graves burst in this situation. Goldenglue at a similar point, can do so much work, definitely does a lot of damage in sustained team fights, especially where he can get multiple chains off, but in that pinch kind of situation where Graves and Syndra have such an easy time landing their skill shots, that team fight is always going to go in their favor, well, at least when Gnar's not there.
You can see right there the power of not having that Gnar in the fight. I mean, we were just talking about in the late game what Gnar can add to the team fight, how he's going to be effective, but how they don't have someone to deal with the split pushing power of Voyboy. Gnar wound up pushing out that top lane a little bit and recalling. We saw Goldenglue's LeBlanc going back down to that bottom lane, but without Gnar in these fights, without the dedicated tank and the hard CC to engage a fight or just lock up the enemy members of the team, it kind of wound up falling apart for them. That was even without Voyboy's Jax in that situation. So late game, if you have Jax on one side of the map and the rest of the team on the other side, you really got to pick and choose your fights carefully if you're Nightblue's team. We talked about the power of Voyboy's team scaling into the later stages of the game. Right now, we're cresting the 26.5-minute mark. With Voyboy being this far ahead right now, you really got to start to consider, okay, where is our focus if we're Nightblue's team?
Nightblue's team, I believe, really has to look for those team fight options, really has to look to get superior vision control, but, when the opposing team has both a support and a Lee Sin with Sightstone, that's going to be pretty hard. You can also see on the opposite side, Nightblue's team, a lot of overlapping wards and vision control, a lot of redundant vision control, so maybe not the most efficient use of the wards that they have by, everything is pretty much on their side of the map, playing very defensive, no pursuit of deeper vision control, whereas Voyboy's team in the past has been very adamant about going into the enemy jungle as a team to secure that vision and then later capitalizing on it to gain an advantage.
We can see right now, both the teams, we have a force of 3 in the mid lane here from Voyboy's team, and actually a fight going on in the top lane here. Zen the Soul King having to use that Gnar and Negamar form to knock away Voyboy from the trade. Meanwhile, over by the mid lane here, we see now Matlife getting blown up as the drop comes in there from Pantheon. Top lane has Sicko Scott over there helping out Voyboy, but a double kill goes down for Nightblue in the fight down by the river. Voyboy's finally able to wind up picking up a kill onto Zen the Soul King, but 2 flashes burned for that one. 1 from Gnar and 1 from Voyboy. Right now on the map, it is still a 4v3 situation as Nightblue's team was able to come up with the numbers advantage towards the mid lane. Fabi's still alive and extremely healthy, is going to be alive to take down this mid lane tower here. So across the map, we had some fights, but Nightblue's team, they get 2 kills and a tower for just the price of 1 Gnar.
Once again, so many resources committed for a single kill. We kind of saw Nightblue's team do a similar thing earlier when Voyboy got out, but Voyboy's team wasn't able to capitalize it. Zen the Soul King, of course, not living in this situation, but meanwhile, his team is able to take out that support and that ADC. A good trade overall, and since they were able to transition it into a turret, a win for Nightblue's team as a whole. We can see them now playing aggressive to get vision control on their own side of the map, feeling a little bit more confident after that exchange, know that the gold is much closer. Now you see Voyboy's team, however, knowing that the enemy team has had to back and to buy items after that turret pick, is moving up to create their own vision control. Not aware of how much not aware of how many pink wards are in the jungle though, so a lot of that may be removed.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see if those pink wards wind up paying off for themselves. Top lane, we did see a tower going down in favor of Voyboy's team. Last time Voyboy tried to split that one down, he got blown up by Goldenglue, but it dropped down so low that, well, the Voice Scout minions wound up taking it down for him. That means that it's now 5 towers compared to 4 in favor of Voyboy's team, but it's a 3-2-0 Dragon buff lead coming in favor of Nightblue's team, with Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds right here. Well, Nightblue and his team have the timer on that one. Looks like they wind up having the Scuttle Crab vision for themselves as well. That's going to wind up being where they set their sights on next. It's going to be the one to help them push down with the extra damage to minions, and then, of course, put them 1 stack away from that coveted 5-stack Dragon buff.
5-stack dragon buff, of course, pretty much the end of the game. 3 stacks already so powerful. The 4-stack not quite as important, but this might be the first dragon fight we've seen contested. You can see Zen the Solo King very on top of managing his rage there. Is incredibly close to Meganar without actually getting there. Is going to transform here, though, so the team does need to make a play quickly, or they will be forced out. Voyboy, meanwhile, is going to split push this mid lane. Looks like Nightblue will try to come in here.
Yep, this is going to be the focus here for Nightblue's team. They decide to try to split down onto Voyboy, force the fight while Meganar is available, but that timer is ticking down with the Rage Bar. Voyboy dropped down to about half HP, does get a leap strike away to a ward. Meanwhile, over by Dragon Pit, Golden Glue gets caught out over here by Syndra and Sicko Scott. Sicko Scott wanted to pick it up the kill. Syndra ultied the clone of LeBlanc, but still, it's A for effort right there. They pick up the kill for themselves. Then the Soul King getting dropped down. A 4-man stun from Syndra, though. Zingy with the Monsoon trying to force them back. Voyboy comes in and picks up the kills. Then the Solo King now nowhere near transforming this situation, has to hop, skip, and jump his Nar out of there. It's a 2 for the price of none in favor of Voyboy's team, and now it looks like they're going to be the ones to go down on this dragon.
Jack's going to be so happy to get this dragon buff. The first dragon buff for the team as a whole. Excellent positioning from Voyboy's squad. Good map movement from Voyboy to pull up instead of trying to group back into the rest of Nightblue's team. And then, of course, you know, Zingy giving his life to get that Monsoon off and to protect his team. And Golden Glue behind enemy lines trying to look for that solo kill. Might have wanted to be with his team in that situation. Sort of caught out there. And Golden Glue obviously has played phenomenally in his tournament as a whole, but he's starting to look a little bit sloppy in this game. Did get the early game advantage he wanted, was able to transition into some kills, but if he keeps getting caught out like that, you know, the value to his team is going to be pretty much non-existent.
Well, he's got 7 kills for his own self right there, but that does mean that he has a lot of damage, and the only AP source of it this game, like I said yesterday, Zingy was running a lot of support. Vel'Koz kind of gave him this interesting composition where when you had Gnar in the top lane from Zen the Solo King was their dedicated tank, and then they kind of had 2 AP carries and 2 AD carries, so Trick's team had a little bit of difficulty itemizing defenses against that. But this time around, when you're the sole AP source of damage, and you know that they're going to wind up building a decent amount of armor against the rest of the members of your team, we see a Frozen Heart, a Warden's Mail, pieces for Zanya's Hourglass already picked up here. You really kind of got to be conservative with your own engages here, because you know you can blow somebody up. And when it comes to somebody like that Cinder, who's getting off 4-man stuns, when that Graze, who's got 3 kills for himself and has gotten a BT, IE, and a static shiv there, you need to be able to blow those targets up that aren't itemizing against your damage. And well, with Golden Glue's the first one to die in these situations we've seen so far, every time that happens, Nightblue's team really can't capitalize. Bottom lane, we see a little bit of a tussle here. Nightblue taking a large chunk of damage from Voyboy. He picks up 1. Now going on to Zen the Solo King. The Meganar transformation comes out. Stun against the wall. Stun with the slam. But Voyboy's got a stun of his own right here. The counter strike goes off. Voyboy leaps away from the house being thrown at him here. Zen the Solo King decides to run the opposite direction as the rest of the Boy Scouts come down into this bottom lane. Teleport coming up from Zen the Solo King gets him out alive. And well, not only that, but everybody from Voyboy's team's on the bottom side of the map now. Golden Glue's in top lane and Fabi's in mid lane.
Voyboy finally scaling up the way he wants to. That Frozen Heart giving him a lot of tanky stats, and of course the ultimate as well, turning him from what would appear to be a squishy target into a pure tank for just a couple of seconds there. Nightblue does have a lot of armor penetration, but is very much reliant on Voyboy being low health to get off those crits, and in that situation, Zen the Solo King not able to provide enough burst to get there.
Ooh, there's that power from Golden Glue coming out there too, just absolutely blows up Matt Life, but he's gonna wind up paying with his own life here as Voyboy comes up from the side. Now Fabi getting stunned up by Syndra. It's a double kill for Voyboy as he picks up that one. Sicko Scott and Braille in the meantime pick up a kill on a Zingy, and that is a 3 for the price of 1 now in favor of Voyboy's team. They're looking to set their sights on Baron Nashor, but Zen the Solo King and Nightblue already there off to the side. It's going to be a smite duel unless Braille trying to get some damage down over here on the Nightblue gets caught out here, taking a lot of damage for himself. Moonway though gets the ultimate down, and all of a sudden Nightblue's out of the equation. Zen the Solo King, Meganar transforms, pushes them against the wall. Can he get Sicko Scott? Can he get Moonway? Can he get anybody trying to deal the damage? But a double kill picked up by Syndra. 3 targets, couldn't choose 1. It's an ace for Voyboy's team. And at the same time, I guess he's saying, hey Trick, you lost yesterday, but I'll open the gates for you in this game. Bottom lane inhibitor tower goes down. Bottom inhibitor might be going down as well. Voyboy tries to jump away, but oh wait, Golden Glue deals a lot of damage right there. Blows up Voyboy. The inhibitor does not go down, neither does Baron, but still lots of kills and lots of gold over to Voyboy's team.
His full tank Gnar just not able to do enough damage to solo kill a lot of the players on this team. You can see Moonway on that Syndra very close to the Hourglass. Once he gets that, he's going to be able to deny Golden Glue any assassination attempts, as well as Zen the Solo King the majority of his CC and burst damage. So Nightblue's team once again has to be very careful about how they fight these. engages, and definitely needs to be looking for more 5v5 team fights. Instead, of course, they've been getting caught out trying to make picks, trying too hard to get the most out of this LeBlanc pick, trying not hard enough to utilize this Pantheon and this Gnar.
It was a little bit of a risky Baron attempt right there, and Voyboy was not alive. It was a 5v4 situation, and even though Voyboy's team gets the Baron, I don't think anybody's going to be left alive after that fight. Fabi with the cleanup duty on a double kill from Draven right there. More adoration stacks, going to give him lots of gold after that one. The Baron buff is still on Moonway. He's actually able to get out with the improved recall. Voyboy, was he actually alive in time to get the Baron buff? No. So Voyboy's team gets the Baron, but only Moonway has the buff left. Everybody else was dead in that fight.
Good call from Nightblue's team overall to contest the Baron. A little bit sloppy from Voyboy's team, but because no inhibitor is going to be gained from this play, it's not going to net gain them too much of an advantage. They will catch up a little bit in their gold deficit. It looks like Goldenblue might go down here.
Goldenblue once again kind of a little by himself here. One chain goes out, though. He is going to be able to distortion away from Voyboy over there. So it looks like Goldenblue's going to get himself out of that situation alive, but mid lane being a little bit more pressured here by Moonway and Voyboy. The remaining members of the Void Scouts are on the respawn here. Nightblue's team, everybody has been left alive after that Baron fight. They are going to want to try to defend against the mid lane tower. Nightblue actually starting it off with a stun down on the Voyboy. Everybody's slowly trickling in from this fight. A hook goes down onto his Zingi's Janna. Then the Solo King is in the back line, so it comes around, gets the Gnar against the wall on Voyboy and Braille, the damage dealers. Syndra gets a stun, he blows up Goldenblue. LeBlanc is out of the fight right now. A Zingi dropping down super low. Fabi going forward right now. He picks up a kill on Graves. That's one damage source down. Sickle Scott and Voyboy dropping low. The hook goes down onto Gnar. A play on 3 of them. Now it's Voyboy's time to shine. He jumps in, but he goes down. Syndra picks up a kill on Nightblue, though. It's a double kill for Moonway. Absolute chaos in the mid lane, and only a Zingi lives on Nightblue's team. Sicko Scott somehow stays alive. Moonway with the Baron buff is left alive, and Voyboy's team's gonna come out on top in a 4 for 3.
Great engage from Zen the Solo King to start that fight off, but unfortunately Goldenblue playing a little bit too cocky in that situation. You can see he has itemized full damage, does not have a Zanya's Hourglass, so is very vulnerable to Moonway's ult and damage rotation as LeBlanc, especially when he approaches in such a straightforward manner. Moonway, of course, able to do so much work in that fight after killing Goldenblue, able to put down those Dark Spheres on multiple targets as they did try to fight in that pinch. So overall, a bit of a sloppy team fight. Fabi, easily able to catch those axes because they fought in such a small area, but not able to move out of the way of the majority of these skill shots and still preserve his damage. This is kind of the vulnerability of the Draven pick as a whole, is that Moonway is always going to know exactly where to throw those skill shots.
And Moonway himself, despite being killed in the mid lane and heavily focused down in the early game, going 0-2 to start it off, has now come back and is 7-3-9, and he's got some really clutch stuns in these team fights. MatLife also going forward and getting the 3-man play to follow up on that Syndra stun was absolute madness. They focused down on Voyboy, but they left the Syndra in the back to clean everything up. They focused down Graves early on, but Graves only 4 kills compared to the 15 that Voyboy and Moonway have put up between the two of them. Goldenblue once again was one of the first ones to go down in that fight, and after that, Nightblue's team just didn't have the little bit of extra damage to carry them through that team fight. We do have Nightblue with 5 kills, but 6 deaths on his side, and now that Fabi's got a couple of kills for himself and has racked up the items at the IE, the Bloodthirster, the Static Shift, and the Last Whisper, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, but he's still only on par with Graves. There's nobody that can really else compare to the Voyboy and Syndra damage that is coming out from their team.
Voyboy, of course, with that Jax core of Blade of the Rune King and Trinity Force, now gets to build full tanky and still do so much damage in these team fights. And the tankier he gets, of course, the harder it's going to be for Goldenblue to burst him down. And if Goldenblue can't burst Jax down, there's really no other option on the team. Jax, of course, has such a good matchup against any AD-based champions, able to dodge out the majority, if not all, skill shots, although we may see him engage here.
Well, actually, it's going to be Mega Gnar going up, and, well, they're going to wind up not melting down Sicko Scott right there. Just, Lee Sin couldn't even see that one coming from the rest of Nightblue's team. Now it's a 5v4 situation, despite Nightblue's team being down in gold. They're the ones that are pressuring in this mid lane with a numbers advantage. Goldenblue going off the wall, Nightblue going in as well. They get the stun on the Moonway, but he slows everybody back from that one. The Monsoon comes up, but Moonway goes legendary. Nightblue goes down as well to Grace. Voyboy takes up a kill on Fabi. Actually, it's going to be Braille that winds up getting the last hit on that one, but a very, very poor tower dive for Nightblue's team. Just goes absolutely catastrophic and turns a 1 for none into a 3 for 1 for Voyboy's team.
Nightblue's team, knowing that they're running out of advantages in that situation, does take the smallest one they can get, of course, killing Lee Sin, but Zen the Solo King a little too eager to dive that tower. You know, you saw as with the last little bit of rage, he did leap in and gnar, or at least try to gnar, as everyone on the enemy team managed to flash out in that case. Nightblue as well dove in and then immediately turned into Mini Gnar, who of course, you know, has almost no burst damage and no CC whatsoever. Can do a bit of sustained damage, but when Moonway was able to follow up with that clutch multi-target stun or multi-man stun, just instant counter engage from Voyboy's squad, and of course that Jack's just able to do so much work, and one Braille able to get all those cleanups.
Well, with 3 enemy members dead, Voyboy's team, the force of 4 in that circumstance, with Lee Sin coming up the rear, is able to push down the mid lane. They wind up picking up the inhibitor in the mid lane. 8 towers down now for Voyboy's team compared to the 5 of Nightblue's team. They're going to have super minions pushing in that mid lane. The dragon isn't going to be up for a little bit of time. Voyboy's team got the second one of those, but the Baron buff is going to be up in about a minute. And once that Baron dance starts and there's super minions on Voyboy's team and a Jax with teleport available, it's going to be hard for Nightblue's team to contend with absolutely everything. But Sicko Scott, the jungler, oh, the flash into the wall. Unfortunate for that one. The assist goes over to Fabi as Golden Glue gets the last little bit of sigil damage to pick up a kill on Sicko Scott's Lee Sin. Unfortunate for them, but he is going to be alive by the time Baron spawns up, so not necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Baron's going to be pretty important here. You can see the advantage that Nightblue's team is going to get from that kill is going to be absolute vision control of this area. They have not spotted out that ward in the pit yet, though, so doubt they're going to be making the attempt themselves. Will be good for them to know when Voyboy's team is attempting it, as it is the most opportune time for them to force a fight. Voyboy's lineup, though, they do make mistakes in the late game, but not nearly as many as Nightblue at this stage. And, you know, you can see outside of Sicko Scott getting caught repeatedly, the rest of the team appears to be working very well and playing very cautiously with this vision control. The bottom inhibitor is open, so if Nightblue's team does try to go for this Baron on their own, they're very much risking Voyboy teleporting into the bot lane and still pushing that one out.
Oh, Golden Glue tries to go on the Moonway, but the Zanya's Hourglass keeps him alive through the Ignite. The ultimate from Syndra comes out, and even though Braille was there, it's a 1v1 kill for Moonway's Syndra. Now LeBlanc is not going to be alive to contest Baron, not going to be alive for the next 50 seconds, let alone that. So that is going to be a lot of time for Voyboy's team to move around this map and make their presence known. There's super minions in the mid lane as well. Fabi and Zen the Solo King have to fight those away, and Nightblue's team are just scattering to try to clear out these waves and put the pressure back onto Baron. They can't let Voyboy's team get this one for free. They need to try to contest something, but they're down a man. Fabi trying to put pressure down on the Moonway, trying to push up this mid lane here, but they're going to want to get flanked by Voyboy's team. They come out from the side of the Baron pit, trying to chase down to Fabi and Nightblue. They are going to want to get in the way here, but it looks like Voyboy gets the leap strike down to Fabi. The stun comes out, it forces the heal. Fabi dropping down low. Voyboy's able to pick up a kill. Nightblue now on the retreat from that one. The rest of his team is doing Baron while Voyboy chases away the enemy jungler across the other side of the map. Nightblue trying to get the crits down, but Voyboy in a 2v1 gets the double kill. Mega Gnar in the meantime jumping into the Baron pit. Is he going to pick it up? No, the Gnar against the wall, but Lee Sin gets the Baron. Voyboy's team gets 2 kills from the captain. They get a Baron for the rest of the team. Everybody jumping over the wall thanks to Thresh bringing Syndra over, with Lee Sin and Graze dashing over the wall themselves. Golden Glue respawn, waiting in the burst, picks the kill on Sicko Scott, but in comes Voyboy. A Zingy getting played back. The collateral damage from Graze eviscerates a Zingy. Then the Solo King has to jump away. Golden Glue's caught in the middle of nowhere. He has to try to run away as well. Voyboy's team, tons of advantages. They're pushing into Nightblue's face now. Zen the Solo King, no transformation in sight. Matt Life and Voyboy going down onto Gnar. He's not going to be able to pick up the kill though. Matt Life goes down as Golden Glue comes back off of that recall, but there's so many members of Voyboy's team in the base. They have the Baron buff minions with them as well. They're going down on the Nexus towers. Gnar's going to transform. The Voyboy's going to go forward, trying to focus on the Nexus. Fabi's here as well. Braille and Moonway, though, they take down the Nexus. Voyboy's team takes the first game of the best of 5 here at the OMEN Encounter Final.